Welcome back to another episode of Talking Sam. I'm your host, Sam Macias, and on today's episode, I will be interviewing one of the best and brightest YouTube content creators in the world today. They are an independent artist, storyteller, animator, musician, and I'm telling you right now, go check out their work. It is amazing, stellar, top tier. Please go check them out. It is the one, it is the only Spywi. Spywi, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now, I just want to get started. What pretty much began your passion in being a kind of an animator, a voiceover actor, and musician?
That's like several different branching stories. I mean, I'll start with the animation thing because that's kind of the biggest thing right now.
Go,
Um,
go ahead.
so
Yeah.
I guess it kind of started way back in like kindergarten, first grade ish. My parents gave me this coloring book slash drawing tracing book of Dragon Ball Z characters. And so
Okay.
like
Nice.
it came with like tracing paper, and I was just like learning how to draw all these like characters. And then pretty much nothing for like a few years, and then I just was drawing a bunch of random stuff in high school. So
Uh,
I guess it kind of started back in high school.
okay. Nice. Now, taking that you were inspired by some of those drawings from Dragon Ball, did you take any inspiration from those animations back in the day, or were you inspired by other mangas, or did you get into mangas back then to get you inspired to get you started by any chance?
Strangely enough, no. Like I didn't actually actively
Hmm.
start reading any manga until like maybe middle school, because that was when
Okay.
at my aunt's old house, one of her roommates had a just like a box set of all the volume ones of like the most popular anime at the time, Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Dragon Ball. And so I was kind of like sneak down there and read them every now and then. But I didn't actively pick up manga and anime until high school officially.
Now, did you take any other inspirations from your earlier days when watching any other movies, TV shows, anime that you can recall that inspire you to do your own drawings that you're doing currently right now, or just any other medium that you can recall by any chance?
Yeah, I would say a lot of it was kind of anime adjacent. So I would watch like the original Four Kids, Yu-Gi-Oh, and like the old like
Mm,
the English dubs of stuff that would show up. Like
right.
I remember going through a phase of just watching a lot of the Sailor Moon dub and having no clue what it was, but just enjoying it. Um, the Digimon movie that came out a while ago.
Yeah.
Um, that was pretty big in my time, and then just a lot of like Studio Ghibli stuff. And yeah, I never really connected it as anime until like years down the road. But I was just like, I guess it's been in my life all the time, and I just never really connected it.
Yeah, I know it's really kind of funny how at that time we don't really understand the difference between what Western animation is compared to what a Japanese animation is, and what the stories are different, how they're drawn, and everything in between. And now, as we grew up later down the road, and as we learned the difference, did you learn how they are drawn differently, and then once you learn the differences between them, did you start putting those differences into your own work?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it around high school, kind of going back to there, like I had a friend who was very much into like a mixture of anime, but also stuff like Jimmy Neutron and
Okay.
Danny Phantom and like the Nickelodeon era style stuff. And she would make these like her own like um not OCs, but like her own like original comic for it, like these stories with the cartoon style and mixed in with anime style. And I just found it fascinating. And I kind of just took that on as I stayed friends with her for years, and that sort of incorporated into my own art style.
Okay. Now, are you currently going to school right now for animation, or have you already graduated from school at this point?
Not at all. I have never taken a official like, animation or art class outside of like, the typical like, high school art class where you have like the
Hmm.
charcoals and the pastels and whatnot. But yeah, no official schooling. Like I have purchased some like Skillshare courses and some
Oh,
like Udemy courses, but nothing like official. Like 99% of it has been like self-taught and just watching YouTube tutorials, really.
now I have to say that is really impressive that you didn't take any schooling or anything like that. Kudos to you. But do you feel that's a little bit of a you're playing behind the eight ball, trying to catch up to everybody when it comes to that, or do you feel like no, I think I could do this. I learned all the tutorials, and I know I could give this 110% for all my work when it comes to all my animation work.
Yeah, I think especially for me, because I have like a bazillion hobbies and a whole bunch of different stuff that I'm interested in, skills, hobbies, just different pastimes. And so it's kind of hard for me to kind of focus in on certain basics. And so I have to really find stuff that interests me. And that's kind of why I started with like the specific style of animation that I'm going for now. It's because that really just
Mhm.
interested me. And so that's why I'm able to learn how to do those types of sketches and zone in on like, oh, I need to learn this and this and this. And so, yeah.
Now, with your drawings, there's not a very current style that you're sticking to. There's like a different style that you take with your videos. Are you looking to trying to stick to one current style to make sure you can branch yourself out, so that way people know if they're looking for you, that's your style. It's like, okay, I know Spywi, that's his style, that's his drawings. Boom, that's you. I know where to find you. Or you want to make sure you can branch yourself out to a wide range of of styles of drawings.
I think what it is that I haven't really nailed down a style, and so I like trying new things, and so if you were to go to my animation channel and look, like, from video to video, the art style changes drastically because
Yeah.
animation just takes a long time between videos, and so I learn new skills as I'm researching for, like, certain animations or, like, learning new techniques. I try to apply it to the next video, and so, like, there's one video where it goes from, like, my characters have, like, white skin, they're more leaning towards, like, Western storytime animation, and then all of a sudden, I drop a video that's, like, a full-on anime character, basically, so
Yeah, no, I definitely see in your videos. They're very different, very artistic, and very stylized. And you're very good. Congratulations to you on all your hard work. But to piggyback off that, this is not your first YouTube channel. You do have another one that is basically all dedicated to music. What was kind of the inspiration behind that? Kicking off a YouTube channel just all towards music with piano covers, covers towards other songs to other shows, and everything like that in between.
right. So interestingly, the first channel, which is just Spywi or Spywi Music as it is now, it didn't start off with music. It actually started off as a way for me to post like card tricks. I used to be like a someone who
Oh,
liked learning card tricks and magic tricks, and I was just like, I need somewhere to post these, so I'm just gonna post them there. And
okay,
so those videos
nice.
are either still there or privated, whatever. I actually haven't checked in a while, but um, it kind of evolved into music after I started playing piano for my local church, which I want to say that was 10, 12 years ago at this point. And so I was back when I was still learning how to play piano and trying out all these different songs. I was like, I want to try and just post these online, see what happens. And yeah.
Now, did you get any support from like your friends or family just to say, hey, you do these videos, you should post them online, post them on YouTube, Twitter, it doesn't matter, get yourself out there, get people to notice your work. Were they pushing you, or was this something on your own independent?
A little bit. It was half, my family just liking the stuff that I posted because I would cross post it to Facebook, and all the parents use Facebook, so they just they like seeing that stuff on there, but then, like, the other half is, like, seeing some inspirations of, like, pianists and other musicians that would post stuff, and I would love to try and emulate some of those, so, like, there was a pianist that I used to watch a lot called Kyle Landry.
Okay.
He did, like, a really famous Kingdom Hearts original song back in the day, but, like, I was, like, watching it, I tried to emulate how his camera was positioned, I tried to figure out how to record audio on the piano, get into my computer, and get it working, and so, yeah, it was, like, half my family just liking stuff that I post, and then me watching other YouTubers and thinking, yeah, I want to do that.
I can definitely relate on that. Trust me. Uh, Quick to follow up on that though, how important is music to you? And not just your videos, your music, or your channel, but just your life, because it looks like it's very important in general to you as well.
It honestly is like half of my entire world because like I'm still playing
Hmm.
for that same church to this day, and like
Oh
I'm
wow.
still playing piano actively in my own life. And every now and then I still post like piano videos or like test out some stuff, but it's kind of evolved past just piano to the point where like later videos I started recording like harmony videos and acapellas and singing videos and testing out music mixing, and so it just kind of naturally evolved from there.
Now, did you have to learn like anything from scratch on the musical side, like you did for your animation and drawing? Very well rounded as a musician.
A little bit. Like I think like kindergarten to 3rd grade, I was put into the typical like piano lessons. But similar to animations, like I learned a lot from just like watching YouTube videos and the what are those called? Synthesia videos with like the colored lines going down. So
Okay, I've seen those. Yeah.
yeah, so it's kind of like that. A lot of what I do on the internet is really self-taught. So
And I gotta say, it's very impressive that you are so self taught in animation and music and so many other genres in your YouTube channel, and you're able to garner such a high level of views and subscriptions. I gotta say, congratulations to you. That is mighty impressive. Not a lot of people can do what you do, and you're the way you're able to do it. Hey, congrats. I hope you get to higher levels. You deserve it. You rock.
thank you.
No, you're welcome, of course. Now, you're starting off another channel, Spywi's Mind Palace, and that's mostly based of a story-driven animation narrative. What was kind of the thinking behind launching a second YouTube channel? Because a lot of times when people do that, they spread themselves pretty thin, trying to manage two YouTube channels at once. Did you get any collaborators coming to you, like any voice actors, animators, drawers, saying, "Hey, let's start up another one. You and me can work together, build this thing up, build it to higher levels." Did you get anyone that came to you, or did you go reach out to them to start it up? What was kind of your thinking process behind that?
Okay, so that actually started off like very heavily in the realm of storytime animation. So there were
Okay.
a lot of YouTubers that were popping off in the day, like Jaden Animations, The Odd Ones Out, those kinds of creators who, like what I saw was them telling stories with simple characters, some simple animations, and like getting a lot of views. And like I wasn't as much like focused on the views back then. I was more interested in telling my stories because I really like rambling. If you can get me on a certain topic, I will ramble for a long time about it. um, and it
Hey,
just it
you're
kind of
welcome to ramble as long
yeah,
as you want here, man.
I
Sorry, go
appreciate it.
ahead.
Yeah, but I just started off with like little simple stories and simple character animations. Some of my original character designs were like these little like round-headed blob character that was actually semi-inspired from that same friend that I mentioned before, the one that
Oh,
introduced me to manga and anime.
okay.
And I just started making stories and silly little videos. Like I had some friends nearby who, like we just wanted to make something silly, and so we just started telling terrible jokes in one video, and then I just made little character reactions to that. Or like I would give a story of how I like was walking through a mall and was mistaken for a preteen as a college kid. And so that's like little simple stuff. And then
Right.
yeah, you kind of just went on from there. I really enjoyed telling my stories and posting them.
All right, nice. And you are a great storyteller. Now, in that, there on your channels, there be videos where it gets thousands and hundreds of thousands of views, and others not that many. When you see something like that, do you have to go back into the think tank and think, okay, is this story not appealing enough to people? Do I have to tell maybe a different kind of story from a different angle, different side, or do you want to be authentically as you can, giving it only to your side, not trying to skew it in any way, or you're just trying to be okay. You know what? If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not trying to fabricate it in any way.
I think I was more focused on just telling my story because
Okay.
more so than actually posting the video, I was more like fascinated with the process of making everything. Because I would
Mm-hmm.
watch hundreds and hundreds of tutorials on like this is how you make storytime animations. This is how you mix audio. This is how you like make these characters look like they're talking or moving. And so like it just started off as some silly little thing where I could tell stories, and then it came more down to I love creating things. And that it kind of harkens back to like this realization I had with my music channel was I just liked creating stuff.
Yeah, you definitely love to create. You're one talented creator. Absolutely. Right now, you both have the channels for your music and your storytelling up and running. Are you looking to shutting one down for the other? Are you looking to keep them both running at the same time? What's kind of the mindset for your channels at this moment? Do you have any plans for them at this time?
I think more so whenever I feel like posting, I will post. 'Cause it you might have
Okay.
seen with the music channel, like, I've more or less stopped posting, like, music
Mm-hmm.
videos altogether. I've sort of transitioned into, like, reaction content and trying to, like, share some of my music knowledge while also reacting to some stuff that I'm really, really, like, in the fandoms of. So, like, Hololive is a
Right.
big thing, VTubers is a big thing that I'm part of right now. Previously, it was, like, reacting to music videos, acapella videos. So yeah, it just depends. And the animation channel, like I said before, animation just takes a long time between videos unless I'm making like super simple, silly stuff. And so there's going to be gaps between videos regardless.
Yeah, I know that definitely makes sense. There'll be gaps in between. Some of the videos I've watched on your channel that I thoroughly enjoy was one in particular is you giving your opinion about what bugs you. And one in particular is certain people on a Discord channel that I'm a part of, where we're both a part of. We won't give the Discord channel's name out. You and me both know, and if everyone else is watching, you probably already know too. But yeah, you saw some jack off, whatever, trying to be funny, trying to do whatever on there, and you had to kick him out. You don't tolerate that, and you put your thoughts out there and your opinions like, hey, time to kick rocks, buddy. Go, bye. And that is something I do appreciate about you. You're not afraid to put yourself out there or your opinions, and that is very admirable. Kudos to you. And another thing about your channel that I really enjoy watching is this new characters that you put out there for Spyway's Mind Palace with like the aggression character, the dreamer character. Are they kind of like inspirations for a comic series you always wanted to do for yourself, or have you been looking out to branch out to other people, or has anyone else reached out to you saying, "Hey, I want to bring this to you and your channel. I have this idea. I want to present to you. I know you have this style. I know you got this platform. Can you help me help you?" And how's that been like trying to connect to all these other YouTubers? And has that kind of been a process? It's just been like, wow, I never thought I could ever reach at this point where others come to me and I come to them.
So that one was actually kind of spurred off of like two different things. So first off, around the time that I was like about to introduce those characters, it was when the storytime animation genre was dying out, quote unquote. A lot of my
Okay.
friends who were in similar numbers in the space were either quitting the internet altogether or pivoting to different types of content. And actually, still do see some of my friends now still actively out there, but now they're Twitch streamers or VTubers.
Mm.
Um, and so at the time, I was thinking, what is something that I could do to kind of pivot my channel in a way that appealed to me and what I loved, and something that could stand out amongst like the generic storytime animations, because back then it was known for like white backgrounds, like blank characters with like no expression or like limited features. And that's
Hmm.
sort of where I started to change up my character designs. And that's I don't know if this is
Okay.
one of your questions, but it kind of led into one particular video, which is I believe it's called "Falling in Love with My Math Teacher's Daughter." Like that was a that was the turning point of my channel, I would say.
No, I would definitely agree that it has been a turning point for you and your channel. One thing I want to talk to you about is the rise of independent animation. You being a independent voiceover actor, animator, drawer, artist, what has that been like for you seeing such a rise on that and that medium? And in shows just like in Hasbin Hotel, Hell of a Boss, Murder Drones, Like a Daisy, so many more. And have you gotten any attention for your work from any of those studios? And have you, been in any talks for you to jump into them, to jump into those shows per chance, or are you starting off in any other shows that we haven't heard of? Can you say anything by any chance, or what are just your thoughts overall?
At some point, I think I will. I mean, through TikTok, I have managed to make a couple of like big connections. So, I'm sort of in the same circle as one creator who created their series is called Lumi and the Great Big Galaxy, which is kind of
Okay.
like it's inspired by a cartoon called Wander Over Yonder, but they've had like a successful Kickstarter. I've interacted with another studio that actually blew up recently, Studio Heartbreak. They
Oh,
recently
okay.
put out a they recently put out a Kickstarter that was wildly successful for their series called The Lovers. Um, so I have talked with a bunch of like independent studios, and some of them have grown a lot larger, and like I am absolutely like inspired by some of them. But yeah, at some point, if I ever decide I want to like form a bigger team, try to dip my toe into indie animation like full time, like that would be great. But like I'm still like in a lot of the pre-production phase of my ideas, and like I could put something out there, but like it may not be something that I'm happy with yet.
Okay. What's kind of like when you're going through your pre-production phase? How long is that a thought process of? Does that take maybe is that like a month and a half process, or is it a little bit longer for you?
It depends on the type of video I'm making. So
Okay.
let's say we go back to the introducing aggression video.
Mhm.
I've had the ideas of like giving little character trailers for each character and like running out a simple little script and like just kind of seeing what happens. And those like the pre-production stage is usually like script and storyboarding at first.
Okay.
And sometimes that can take like a day, maybe two, and then just like refining it over the next few weeks. But sometimes I have
Hmm.
like bigger ideas that I want to do. So I had one that was talking about like mental health in my mind palace. And that one was an entire like dialogue script between two characters. And so that one took several months to just storyboard and then finally like get my voice actors to voice over that, try and get like a something pre-production done, and then yeah, it took a while to get that video out.
Now with now obviously all your voice actors can be all at once recording their lines. Is that a hard process to do? Sending the lines out to them and trying to hopefully get them back to you as fast as they can, or is it just when they can send it to me, that's fine, no problem. What's kind of the process for you? Is that kind of like a head scratch? Is like, is that like a nerving? It's like I hope they get back to me. What's kind of your mind thought on that?
I think it depends on the type of video, and that's why I'm kind of grateful that I chose anime as the format because
Okay.
anime lip flaps are notorious for having like maybe like three shapes altogether, which is just open, middle, and
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so thankfully, if my voice actors send in something late or I need them to do reshoots, I can literally just go in the editor and just change the position of the mouth flaps, and have it match up. But generally, what I end up doing most of the time, because all my voice actors are just all over the place at this point,
Right.
both time zone wise and busyness, I kind of just have them send in lines first, and then I animate the lip flaps like at the end of the process to kind of match everything up.
Okay, nice. Now, in this day and age of animation, have you been seeing anything in particular, whether it being an adult animation, children animation, or anime, that you can see where, oh, okay, I like that style of framing, I like that color, I like that specific frame choice. Do you see any of that in particular and think, okay, I can see that from my specific story. I can implement it into my storyboards, into my next video. Did you look at any of that, or did you just focus on, no, I want to just do my own thing. I just focus on my own arts. I appreciate theirs, but I just need to focus on my own thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Sometimes it can be something as simple as like seeing something happen in like an anime that I'm watching at the time and thinking like, "Oh, I could probably
Mhm.
recreate this and this." Or sometimes I get inspiration from like the weirdest places. So, there's this very specific not even anime, it's a webtoon, like a Korean webtoon
Oh,
called Yumi Cells. And, if you actually read the premise, it's actually very similar in concept to my story, but I actually didn't get any inspiration of that because, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's very interesting because like I get this like weird sense of like I could probably implement some of these story points in like to my series, but kind of change it up a little bit. So like the webtoon version, one of the scenes like in the very very beginning, like first chapter, is like one of the little characters inside the girl's head like sets the inner like quote unquote mind palace on fire, and it
right.
translates in the real world to the girl just blushing.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a very interesting concept, and so I kind of wanted to take that, not that exact idea, but, like, having the inside of my mind palace, kind of interact with the character on the outside.
Interesting.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a very niche concept, and not a lot of people would go for that because it's kinda hard to implement, but, I mean, it fits with what I'm trying to do, which is literally just tell my story just in an anime style.
Now, when you're going through your stories after you go through everything, do you make sure you go through like a second draft, rough edit over anything, just to make sure you're not like, ooh, did I just cherry pick that story off of that movie or that specific show, or do you like try to make sure you rough edit just to make sure you're not doing like a carbon copy off of anything else to just focus on your own story for your own channel?
I I tend to stick with my own story and my own ideas, and, like,
Hmm.
if people compare me to whatever, then, I'll complain about it, but it's their opinion, it's not mine, so, I actually like all of my characters, people have related to other stuff, like, people on TikTok have related my entire series to, like, Inside Out. Um, my character aggression, like for the
Hmm.
longest time, I was just getting comments after comments of, "Oh, this looks like a character from Undertale," or "This looks like a character from the anime Soul Eater." I'm just like, okay, just because it's a pink scythe doesn't mean anything. Like it's
Right.
an entirely different concept altogether. But I digress.
Now, obviously, when you see those comments on either on YouTube or TikTok, is it a bit I don't want to say annoying, but frustrating that they're not seeing your work for what it is and trying to compare it to others and criticize you for trying to be, oh, you're copying off that work and not just giving you the praise that you deserve for being creative.
I mean, like, I try to tell people, like, it's an endless well of content for my TikTok because I can just make video responses to some of these comments. But then it
Right.
gets to the point where my followers get annoyed, and then there's only so many times that I can complain that my character is being compared to this one niche character, and I'm just like, maybe it's not worth it, but at the same time, it's
Yeah.
really fun to just make spiteful TikTok videos.
I bet it's easy content for your TikTok. Quick thing though, what has it been like to be a part of this community of creators, of creators, YouTubers who are willing to help you out, who are willing to give you the time of day to help you to make sure they can grow, and just make sure you are networking with them and not losing touch and making sure you stay connected with them.
Oh man, I'm glad you asked because networking has as I've found, networking has been like the biggest thing for me, just in
Hmm.
terms of anything. So like, especially going back to like the music channel, because a lot of my voice actors now I've actually met through my music channel.
Oh, okay,
So
nice.
a lot of the main cast, they've either used a lot of my piano covers to make covers, or like I've met them through mutual friends of others. Like a long time ago, there was a YouTuber named Anna Pantsu, who's like a really famous YouTube singer.
Yes, I've seen her work and I love her work. She's great.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of her like older Steven Universe and even some Hamilton like covers back in the day were actually
Hmm.
like the instrumentals were my piano covers.
Oh, really?
And so
Okay.
that's where I met her, and that's where I met a bunch of other people and a lot of other voice actors, like the original voice actor for Dreamer. one of my
Hmm.
characters, was actually a friend of Anna, and then
Oh,
I
okay.
got to know him there, and he's not on the project now. He's off
Oh,
voicing for like the Dragon Prince or something, which is a
oh,
big
wow.
deal. Um, but yeah,
Hey,
so
shout out to
shout,
your friend. Shout out to
yeah,
him. Yeah.
definitely. Um, and like the other voice actors are just mutuals of mutuals, but they all are like, really excited to work on my project, and I've offered to pay them and they keep refusing. And so it wasn't until like this past year that I was able to get them to actually receive payment for this. So
Nice.
yeah, that just like a big thing. Like make sure you pay all of your people if you have an
Right.
indie project. So, yeah, it gets really bad on the internet if you don't pay your people. But yeah, but like to that point, it like YouTube in general and like the outer like content creation space, a lot of it is me just being in the same circle as a lot of different other people.
Right.
So like you recently interviewed Rebecca Rose like
Hmm.
a little bit ago. I'm actually mutuals with her on Twitter.
Oh,
And
nice.
the
Okay.
reason that we know each other is actually back through Steven Universe. Because I believe she used one of my covers as like a backing instrumental for one of her videos.
Okay,
And
cool.
so like yeah, I'm in that circle, and then like, to the wider Owl House space, I'm kind of just in the same circle as like um, Not So Average Fangirl, Morgan
Yep.
Terry, and so on. And so it's like I just happen to make connections with people, and it kind of ends up being a smaller circle of like interconnected connections. And so yeah,
Eh,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's a cool web to be in, man. I have to say, just talking to you and talking to all of them, it's been one crazy ride this past month. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really interesting. You mentioned Steven Universe because speaking with Rebecca and I know talking to Bill just a couple days ago, and Steven Universe is a very connecting thread through all you guys, and to you especially, because just going through your videos,
Hmm.
you did a lot of your songs based on Steven Universe show. What was it about the show that connected to you so closely so closely?
I think for me, it was the overarching themes and the story of like
Hmm.
family and love and discovering yourself and like trying to make your own person, and trying to break away from who people saw who you were in the past, or who, like, the person you used to be.
Hmm.
And like especially like the music helped to tie everything together. And so like when I first started making those piano covers, like I did like Love
Hmm.
Like You, I did Here Comes a Thought, which ended up being one of my more popular covers, um because that just opened the door to like seeing how much these songs impacted other people. So like going back to Here Comes a Thought, I made like a slow piano version of that song, and so many people resonated with it to the point where I was seeing comments of like years down the line of people saying like they still listen to this particular cover to try and fall asleep. Or like one of them, I forget if it was that exact video, but one of them said like I actually walked down the aisle using this song as the
Oh,
instrumental. I'm just like, that is
wow.
insane. And it's like it was a cover that I recorded at like 3 a.m. in my college dorm room. And I didn't think any of it. I was just like, this is a nice song, I want to record it in my style. And like here it is, like not much polish, not much like to think about for my sake, or like from my
Right.
perspective, but like to other people it literally is like a life saving, or like a thing that kind of brought people out of darkness type of thing, which I still don't know how to process that. I don't know if I can actually take credit for that, because again, it's still, a Steven Universe property. So yeah.
Right. Um, how does that go through your mind? Because like you say, you did this on a random night, 3 in the morning,
Hmm.
just for fun, just because you love the show, you're inspired by it, you just want to do a little thing for it, put your little spin on it, put a little razzle dazzle on it, and
Hmm.
you're getting all these comments years later saying, "Hey, thank you so much. It's puts me to sleep, helps me get through the day. I
Hmm.
walked down the aisle in my marriage to this." Is it still is that such a weird is it a weird feeling? uh, even till now, to this day, just even talking about that.
It's definitely weird. Like I said, I don't know if I can fully take credit for it because it feels like it's outside of me at this point. It's like I put something out into the world and people kind of like reacted to it in a certain way, or they like had an impression of it. And like even to this day, there are still some of my videos that kind of get circulated every now and then. And it's like it's some songs that I had forgotten about or forgotten that I had posted, and it comes back up. Somebody comments
Hmm.
on it, and it brings back those memories of like myself discovering certain songs and discovering like certain videos that I find like as comfort, or like songs that I still come back to as like this brings me joy every time I hear it, or it makes me cry every time I hear it. And so
Mm.
I feel like it's yeah, I feel like for me it's just a thing that I made. But
Okay.
the fact of me putting it out there into the world allows other people to experience it and like have their own interpretations of it. I think like the best example of this would probably be another one of my songs that I posted, which was a cover of Love Bug by Jonas Brothers, um, ages and ages ago. And it's like, it's not exactly something that I consider myself proud of. Like, I don't know if I could ever like be proud of that video if I were to just listen to it critically. But
Hmm.
like I'm still getting I literally got a comment like last week saying, "Hey, can I walk down the aisle with this song?" Or like I got somebody emailed me saying like, "I want to commission you to like, re-record this song and like I want to use it for my wedding." And so yeah, it's still really hard for me to wrap around like the idea of like something that I basically like crapped out in like a few minutes could be life changing for other people.
No, I mean, I can't even fathom me doing something that could change someone's whole entire life in a second. That's really inspiring, man.
Hmm.
I tip my hat to you. Thank you for that. Thank you
Yeah,
for saving someone's life, maybe
I
with
appreciate
your
it.
work. Absolutely. Real quick, I just want to get just what's been kind of like your favorite moment you've experienced so far, and being in YouTube during and being in this community, being a content creator, and what's kind of been some of your challenges you have to deal with um, going through since starting this journey off to now.
Yeah, I would say it's a lot of like that um that dead space between videos has been like
Mm,
a lot of a struggle for me, because whether it be like I am burnt out from making videos, or like I haven't had the time to do stuff, or like I don't have the energy, it there's always that feeling in the back of my mind of like, do I still want to continue doing this? Do I still want to make reaction videos, make music videos, make animations? Do I still want to share my stuff with the world? And like I've had that same realization with like recently with my TikTok accounts, where like I would be posting for the sake of posting, or like posting these random 6-second videos, and like there's no heart behind it. There's nothing that I would really enjoy,
mm,
and like they would get hundreds of thousands of views, but like they felt empty. and
okay.
and it like going back to my animation channel, I don't know if you saw, but there was a period of time where I was actually doing animatics for like a Dungeons and Dragons podcast that I was following, and those would get like hundreds of thousands of views, like tens of thousands of views. And like it was great, I could make money off of that, but I never really felt satisfied or happy making them, because at least to me they always felt half finished, or like I could have put more work into this. But
Okay.
for me, I what brings me back out of it and like helps me kind of get over those challenges is working on something until it's finished, or at least
Right.
what I would consider finished.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you definitely show work ethic and determination that others do strive to be, and it does show in your work. We'll finish off with this. Just one last question. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Yeah,
Very much
definitely.
appreciated. What's next for you, your channel, both your channels, and what can we expect coming from you? Do you have any future projects you're currently working on right now you want to share with us? Or we want to keep that under wraps for now.
Yeah, definitely I can share. I mean, like it's like basically the entirety of my TikTok at this point, but I'm finally going to be like doubling down on working on an original like anime pilot episode, or at
Oh,
least something that
nice.
I would consider to be a pilot episode. And so it's going to be featuring all the little characters that I mentioned, and finally like finishing off telling a story that I had been wanting to finish for a while. I mentioned the video, the falling in love with my math teacher's daughter.
Hmm.
That was a storytime animation that was supposed to get a part two like 3 years ago, and
Oh, dang.
I never finished it because that story was of the girl that I mentioned at the beginning who inspired me to learn how to draw. It inspired me to love anime and manga, and like I never finished that story, and so I want to finally finish that story and turn it into something that I would consider to be my magnum opus, which is a full-on like anime pilot episode featuring all the characters in their updated designs, a story, and a full voice acting team. And it's just something that I really want to like finish and show to the world, and like finally have that bit of my life like fully fleshed out the way I originally envisioned it 3 years ago.
Nice. Well, I definitely see big and huge things happening for you. You're definitely on your way, and I hope all the things that you are looking for happen. You definitely are someone that everyone should be paying attention. Spywhite, thank you so much for joining me today. Where can people find you online if they want to follow you?
Yeah, definitely. You guys can find me at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/ at Spywise Mind Palace Animations, or Twitter, Instagram, or mainly TikTok now, I guess. But yeah, just SPYWI Mind Palace.
And you guys can follow me on my YouTube channel at Sam Macias, Twitter at SamMac55, TikTok at SamMac55, Instagram at Sam Macias5, and also on anywhere you can listen to a podcast on Spotify or Google Podcasts. Thank you everyone for joining me today. It was such a great fun. Thank you for Spyway. Um, yeah, it was such a great time, and I can't wait for you guys to join me on the next time. Until then, bye.
Bye.